When an airplane engine fails mid-flight, it seems like everything should end there, but in reality, the opposite happens. The most common mistake is thinking that the engine keeps the plane in the air when in fact it's the wings that support everything. The wings continue to generate lift as long as there is sufficient speed, even if half the power disappears. But losing an engine creates an invisible problem that almost no one imagines: lateral imbalance. The side with the engine running pushes harder, trying to spin the plane in the air. And this is where a discrete but absolutely crucial part comes in: the vertical rudder. By adjusting the rudder, the pilot neutralizes this rotation and keeps the plane aligned. Even so, the plane doesn't fly perfectly straight as before, and this is entirely intentional. It flies with a slight calculated tilt to balance forces that are now unequal. Another surprising detail is that the engines are strategically positioned to reduce this impact. If they were placed further apart, the spin would be much more difficult to control. Now comes another factor that changes everything: the weight of the aircraft at that moment. The lighter it is, the easier it will be to maintain control with only one engine. And there is a minimum speed calculated precisely for this type of situation. Below this limit, lateral control simply wouldn't be enough. Therefore, during takeoff, there is a critical point where there is no turning back. If an engine fails after this point, the aircraft must continue taking off. This happens because it has already reached the safe speed to fly in that condition. And all of this is exhaustively tested before an aircraft is even approved. In practice, pilots train for this exact scenario repeatedly. And there is one last layer of safety that almost no one notices. Even with one engine stopped, all essential systems continue to function. In the end, the aircraft doesn't depend on brute force to fly, but on precise balance. And it is precisely this invisible engineering that transforms a failure into something totally controllable.